Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb addressed a press conference in Islamabad, highlighted the urgent need to expand the country's taxation base to ensure economic stability. He emphasized that the current taxation burden disproportionately affects the salaried class and manufacturing sector, which contribute more than their fair share relative to their GDP.
देखिए, we are very clear कि हमने अपनी जो महसूलात को आगे बढ़ाना है और उसकी बड़ी बेसिक वजह है कि पिछले साल हमने 29% अपने टैक्स रेवेन्यूज़ बढ़ाए, बट स्टिल वी आर एट 8.8% ऑफ टैक्स टू जीडीपी। देखिए, ये सस्टेनेबल, कोई भी मुल्क इस लेवल पे सस्टेनेबल नहीं हो सकता। जो हमने उसकी सिमत जो हमने कहा है कि 13% से ऊपर लेकर जाना है, हमें उस पर यकीन भी रखना पड़ेगा, and we will have to be absolutely clear about the implementation and execution.
Aurangzeb called for collective efforts across all sectors to increase the tax to GDP ratio, amid ongoing resistance from traders. He particularly mentioned the nationwide strikes by traders and retailers against the Federal Board of Revenue's 𝐃𝐚𝐰𝐬 scheme, which seeks to bring the retail sector into the tax net.
और वहाँ भी अब हमारे पास कोई गुंजाइश नहीं रही। जो तनख्वाहदार तबका है, जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री है, दे आर ऑलरेडी पेइंग वे अबव व्हाट दे आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू द जीडीपी। तो ये हम कब तक इसी तरह चलते रहेगा और कब तक ये मुल्क ऐसे ही चलता रहेगा? तो जितने मेरे होलसेलर्स, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स, रिटेलर्स, ये सब मेरे भाई बहन हैं, हमारी दोबारा आपसे गुजारिश है, ये गुजारिश है कि आप बढ़िए, अपना कदम आगे लेकर जाइए to contribute to the country's economy। हमारी तरफ से जो भी चीज़ हो सकी जिसमें हम आपको कुछ सहूलत फराहम कर सकें, सिंप्लिसिटी ला सकें, वो इंशाल्लाह हम आपके साथ पहले भी इंगेज रहे हैं, अब भी इंगेज रहेंगे।
In a significant political development, the leader of the Balochistan National Party Mengal, BNPM, Sada Akhtar Mengal, resigned from the National Assembly, citing the worsening situation in Balochistan. Representing 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐿, Mengal expressed his frustration over Parliament's persistent neglect of Balochistan's issues, which he said rendered his role meaningless. Meanwhile, PTI founder Imran Khan has petitioned the Islamabad High Court to prevent his possible transfer to military custody for trials related to the May 9 cases. Khan argued that any attempt to try him in a military court would be unconstitutional and a violation of his fundamental rights. Israeli forces have escalated their military operations in Gaza, killing 33 Palestinians in the past 24 hours, according to Palestinian officials. Meanwhile, the Israeli military reported that they killed 8 Palestinian gunmen, including senior Hamas commander Ahmed Fozi Nazer Mohammed Wadia, who was allegedly involved in leading a massacre of civilians in Israel on October 7. In the occupied West Bank, violence has also intensified, with Israeli soldiers killing 30 people and injuring at least 130 others since Wednesday. The Palestinian Ministry of Health reported that the death toll in the West Bank since October has reached 682, with 5,700 people injured. The ongoing violence has led to a significant rise in casualties, with the overall death toll in Gaza reaching over 40,819 while 94,291 injured, since October 7 last year. Despite the conflict, there have been brief pauses in fighting that allowed medical teams to vaccinate nearly 159,000 children against polio in Gaza, marking the third day of the campaign. In response to the ongoing conflict, the UK government, under Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has suspended 30 arms export licenses to Israel. Foreign Minister David Lammy stated that the suspension was due to concerns that the equipment could be used to commit serious violations of international humanitarian law. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu criticized the decision, calling it shameful, and asserting that it would not deter Israel's efforts to defeat Hamas, which he described as a terrorist organization responsible for the deaths of 1,200 people, including 14 British citizens. Meanwhile, in the Red Sea, Saudi Arabia's national shipping company, Bahri, denied reports from the US that one of its ships, the MV Amjad, was attacked by Yemen's Houthi group. The US Central Command had claimed that the Houthis targeted the MV Amjad and the MV Blue Lagoon I with ballistic missiles, but Bahri confirmed that the MV Amjad was not attacked and remains fully operational. This incident follows a series of reported attacks on shipping in the region, contributing to heightened tensions in the Red Sea and Indian Ocean. Overall, the region continues to face escalating violence and geopolitical tensions, with significant humanitarian impacts and international diplomatic repercussions. Heavy rainfall continues to wreak havoc across Pakistan, with Punjab bearing the brunt of the deluge. Lahore received a staggering 201 millimeters of rain, while Gujranwala recorded 196 millimeters, leading to widespread flooding concerns. PDMA has issued warnings of potential flooding in the Indus River and its tributaries, as major dams like Mangla and Tarbela near their maximum capacity. The situation is equally dire in Sindh, where the Pakistan Meteorological Department has forecasted more thunderstorms and heavy downpours. Karachi, already suffering from damaged infrastructure due to previous rains, braces for further isolated showers. Balochistan is particularly hard hit by the monsoon rains, with 5 children losing their lives in separate incidents on Monday. The province has faced devastating impacts since the onset of the monsoon, with 39 fatalities, including 19 children, recorded since July 1st. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, KP, the relentless rains have claimed 4 more lives in the past 24 hours, including 3 fatalities in Upper Kohistan when a bus was struck by a landslide, and a child in Malakand district who was killed by lightning. KP has seen 96 fatalities and 133 injuries since the start of July, with nearly 1,000 homes damaged by flash floods. In Bangladesh, monsoon rains have triggered catastrophic flooding, raising the death toll to 71. The floods, exacerbated by upstream runoff, have stranded millions, placing them at high risk of waterborne diseases. Nearly 5 million people have been affected, and over 580,000 families urgently need aid. UNICEF has launched an appeal for $35 million to support those affected, warning that 2 million children are at risk as Bangladesh faces its most severe flooding in 3 decades. In India, heavy rains have caused massive flooding in Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana, resulting in over 60 deaths. Gujarat is the worst affected, with more than 45 fatalities. The Indian Army has been deployed to assist in relief efforts. In response to the increasing risks posed by climate change, India is taking steps to mitigate the danger of glacial lake outbursts in the Himalayas, which can lead to deadly flash floods. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said that 2 Russian ballistic missiles struck an educational facility and hospital in Poltava, killing at least 41 people and injuring 180. Many are still trapped under the rubble. The strike, one of the deadliest since the war began, partially destroyed a building at the Military Institute of Communications. Rescue operations are underway, with 25 people saved so far. Zelenskyy ordered a full investigation and pledged that Russia would surely pay for the attack. He urged the international community to stop Russian terror and requested prompt delivery of air defense systems and missiles. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin visited Mongolia despite an outstanding arrest warrant for alleged war crimes in Ukraine. Mongolia, an ICC member, has ignored calls to detain Putin. The visit has sparked small protests and criticism from Amnesty International. Putin met with Mongolian President 𝐒𝐿𝐼𝐻, discussed economic projects, including a trans-Mongolian gas pipeline.